Hello, we're the History Hikers. I'm Jente.
And I'm Dries,
And welcome to Castle Schmidburg.
which is one of the oldest castles in Germany.
Let's check it out. Hidden in the forest of the Hunsrück mountain range lie the ruins of Schmidburg Castle. The large castle complex stretches across a hilly spur, forming a peninsula in the river Hanebach. It's an incredibly strong strategic position. Even the Romans knew this, as they had an army camp here during the 4th century.
The Schmidburg is said to have originally been built in 926 by 3 Frankish lords Franco, Hunpert and Nordbold to protect against Hungarian incursions. This makes it the oldest castle of the region and one of the oldest in Germany.
To reach the castle, we must cross the moat along this impressive bridge. On our right rises the mighty upper castle, which has a clear line of fire over advancing attackers. We are once again joined by our favorite drone operator Orca FPV to provide us with these stunning shots.
In the 11th century, the castle was known as Schmedeburg. It refers to the importance of the castle as an ore smelting and metal processing facility. Smithy in German is Schmiede, of course. Near the end of the century, the castle got a new owner, Emicho. His son, Emicho II, inherited Schmidburg and took the name of Wildgraf. Schmidburg thus became one of the ancestral castles of the Wildgraf family.
At our feet we notice the tracks of the many carts who came and went and eroded the road beneath their wheels. It's only natural that there were many comings and goings all the time, as Schmidburg is such a large sprawling castle complex consisting of both a lower and an upper castle.
Under the rule of the Wildgrafen family, many knights and their families came to live in the lower castle, while the lords occupied the upper castle. The knights were known as Burgmannen and had to take care of the defense of the castle. Most buildings in the lower castle are all houses built for these Burgmannen.
Despite Schmidburg being one of the ancestral sites of the Wildgrafen family, they would lose possession of it in the middle of the 14th century. Inheritance disputes between the Schmidburg and the Kierburg lines of the family culminated in a feud during which the Archbishop of Trier managed to get control of the castle. When two dogs fight for a bone, it's usually the third who gets away with it. Under the new rule, the castle was expanded further and was in its heyday during the 14th and 15th centuries and became an important administrative seat for the archbishops.
For 450 years, the castle would remain property of the Archbishop of Trier. The knights remained as defenders under its new ruler, though from the 15th and 16th century on, many of them started leaving as the lower castle became more and more deserted. One notable exception is the Schenk von Schmidburg family. Through time, they inherited many of the houses and expanded this northwest corner of Schmidburg in a largely independent complex. Though when they got hold of the castle of their own in Gemünden, they abandoned Schmidburg and went to live there.
The lower castle also has its own keep or Bergfried. It overlooks the entire complex and is yet still dwarfed by the upper castle.
Abandoned and falling into disrepair, the castle proved an easy conquest for French troops in 1688 during the 9 Years' War. The French soldiers dismantled the remaining fortifications. Only a residential building in the upper castle remained for the bailiffs who managed the region for the archbishops of Trier.
At the northern side of the castle, a few buildings lie outside the mighty walls. For example, this double-story barn and stable.
The upper castle rises on a separate rocky peak which can be reached via an impressive bridge from the lower castle. There were also some steep stairs carved into the southern rock face known as the kitchen stairs. Next to the bridge are the remains of horses' stables.
When the whole of the Rhineland was occupied by French troops once again, this time during the French Revolutionary Wars, the last bailiff left the upper castle and it too fell into ruin. There is one more notable event during its history, however. Around 1800, one of the most infamous German criminals ever, Johannes Büchler, or better known as Schinderhannes, used the castle as a hiding place while on the run from the law.
All in all, the upper castle is not that large. You do get an amazing view of the lower castle and the wooded hills. The palace, being the lord or bailiff's home, does look really impressive and luxurious.
Up here we also find a bakery, with remains of its oven, and next to it the round keep. From the keep, defenders could reach lower-lying battlements to defend the entrance.
Extensive excavation, reconstruction and restoration works took place during the 70s and 80s, giving us the ruin we see today. In its remote location, the castle is a place where you can experience nature in its purest form, an oasis of rest and relaxation. We'll definitely be coming back one day to pitch our tent within these mighty walls. Time for the arbitrary subjective castle score. I think we're gonna have to give it another 10.
We are on a 10 streak.
Leave your own score in the comments.
And like, comment, subscribe, and all that good YouTube stuff if you want to see more of these kind of castles.
We'll see you next time. Bye.